is not acceptable. We've been deceived, we've been failed, and so many people, young and old, have been drilled with absolute fear. And it's that fear that's been driving this situation forward. The more fearful you are, the easier you are to be controlled and manipulated. The less fearful you are, the harder it is to be. And by us being here today proves that to be true. Because it shows the people at the top of the chain that we are not afraid. We are not afraid, and we will fight until fear is overridden by strength, knowledge and unity. Without fear, the powers that be could not control the many. They could not drive people into submission. They could not create division between the people. And they could not strip away one's ability to think for themselves. They could not achieve their agendas. And without the mainstream media, those fears could not be. As a young person, defund the BBC! As a young person, it saddens me the most to see so many of my own generation and younger deceived and living in this fear. So many do not realise just how threatened our futures are. And as young people and children, we are the main targets. We are young and ever growing, and our minds are very easy to mould, and that's been done through the likes of reality TV and the manipulative, addictive, brainwashing, influential ways of social media. The powers that be, they don't want young people especially to know any different than what's presented to us through our phone and TV screens. They don't want us to see the real world for what it actually is. They don't want us to be able to communicate properly, to be strong-minded, and they don't want us by any means to be able to have our own minds. As young, growing individuals, they don't care about us at all. As young people, we always say how much that we want to change the world. And if we really want to do it, we need to start looking up and out from those screens at the real world around us. Open our eyes and empower our young minds with knowledge. Question absolutely everything from social media to mainstream media to COVID-19. On the 19th of March 2020, the government website stated that the virus was downgraded from being a high consequence infectious disease. 4 days later, we went into lockdown. Why? The Health Secretary claims that 2 households can meet at a social distance in an outdoor public space, but not in a pub garden, even though a pub garden is an outdoor public space. In some restaurants, you must wear a mask when ordering takeout food, but not if you're ordering to sit in. But what's the difference? Are you wearing a mask because you are fearful of this virus and others around you? Or are you wearing a mask just because you've been told to in the places that you've been told to wear them out of fear of the consequences? Do you believe everything that you've been told just because you've been told it's happening or it exists or because it's for your own benefit? Or you able to think for yourself and find out information for yourself instead of the government and the media doing it for you? There is absolutely nothing logical or straightforward about COVID-19. There is a much bigger picture to be looked at. So I would strongly encourage you all to look into the following. Number one, Mindspace. From the Institute for Government, it's a document that was created in 2010 by the British Gov, which discusses how mind control is used to influence the change of behaviour in society. That's Mindspace. Number two, Operation Lockstep. Operation Lockstep is part of a wider document called Scenarios for the Future of Technology and International Development, written by the Rockefellers in 2010. Also known as the agenda behind COVID-19, everything that has been happening around you and is set to happen in the future is written in that document. These are the people at the top of the chain who have had the ways of the world set in plan for decades. They are years ahead of time, and I strongly encourage you all to read that document and to understand why our futures are at such stake. I'd also strongly encourage the following to be looked into. UK Column News, Dr. Rashid A. Buttar and Dr. Vernon Coleman. These are just three of the many credible, independent people out there who provide us with the truth that's been missing, who have our best interests at heart, and David Icke, and whose information does not deserve to be dismissed. It's time now, more than ever, for people of all ages everywhere to unite. We need to take back our lives and our freedoms that we deserve. We need to fight for our futures and start listening to the right people. We need to start empowering each other with knowledge, help one another to take back control of their own minds. Talk to each other, calm and collected, in ways that leaves people thinking and questioning. All of us here today, never stop speaking your truth. Continue to empower your minds with knowledge, and you will attract the right people.
Can I say something quickly? Sorry. Fuck the mask, forget the mask, yeah? I've torn it off, yeah?
Thank you. Keep the faith. Those who are willing to listen will listen. Because we are the 99%. We are unity. We have the real power. It all depends on how we use it. And with that in mind, I'd just like to finish on a rather inspirational story, as Aesop's fable, The Bundle of Sticks. It's a story of an old man, a father to a set of sons, constantly fighting with one another. On the point of his death, the old man calls his sons to be around him to give them some advice. he asked his servants to bring forward a bundle of sticks that are all tied together. The old man then asks each of his sons to one by one attempt to break the bundle of sticks. And they each try with all their efforts, but they were all unsuccessful. The old man then orders that the bundle of sticks be untied and each son be given a single stick. When it was done, each stick was told to be broken, and each stick was easily broken. The message from the old man to his sons was that individually you can easily be conquered, but together you are invincible. Union gives strength. United we stand, divided we fall.
Martin Luther King Jr. famously said, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about the things that matter." From the moment this pandemic agenda has started at the beginning of this year, it has been a never-ending assault of intense mind control, fear-mongering, conflicting information, terror, rigged and falsified data, daily press briefings, all with the support of the mainstream media and the government Behavioural Insights Team, also known as the Nudge Unit, reporting back and advising on how best to deal with us, and at one point in March, reporting back to the government that we did not feel personally threatened enough by the virus strain and increased measures would need to be taken against us. The Behavioural Insights Team official statement reads, "We apply behavioural insights to inform policy, improve public services and deliver positive results for people and communities." Really? Is that what they do? No! As USA physician and politician Ron Paul has said, COVID-19 is the new terrorism. If something doesn't feel right, just research history and you will find some very powerful answers. Hitler seized power in 1933. It took years of systematic brainwashing, indoctrination and propaganda, coupled with a crippling depression and economic collapse, in order to get millions of people to be complicit in crimes against humanity. To get the population to participate in and facilitate his dirty work. Hitler didn't kill 6 million people alone, his collaborators did. Tell the police that over there. As the Nazis' victims were queuing up outside the gas chambers, many believed that they were going for a shower. As humans, we struggle with the notion that other people would want to inflict harm onto us. But indeed, that is what is happening. The evidence is all around us. Albert Einstein, who managed to escape Nazi Germany, said, "The world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but by those who watch them without doing anything." How many times have we been here in history? How many more times do we have to say, never again? How many more times must humans suffer underneath the fist of control and dictatorship? Be in no doubt, each regime has its spin doctors, its propaganda machines, its mechanisms for promoting and spreading that propaganda, and cleverly repackaging and repurposing the same dangerous narratives every single time. We cannot allow this takeover to happen because due to the technology available, which you've seen in the sky, these globalist technocrats have at their use, they can enslave us and manipulate us like no other despot has ever done before. Winston Churchill famously said, "Those that fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it." Let's not repeat it! Hitler's propaganda mastermind, Joseph Goebbels, said the following: "The essence of propaganda consists in winning people over to an idea so sincerely, so vitally, that in the end they succumb to it utterly and can never escape from it. Propaganda works best when those who are being manipulated are confident that they are acting on their own free will. If you tell a lie enough and keep repeating it, people will eventually come to believe it." This is coming from Joseph Goebbels, the mastermind of the Holocaust, or one of them. If you are wearing a face covering and promoting the false narrative and lies, you are complicit in the agenda to remove everybody's rights You are not virtuous. You are not helping to protect yourself or anybody else. You are buying into the biggest lie of your generation. Face coverings turn us into voiceless submissives. They strip us of our personal identity. They remove our smile, our ability to breathe and communicate like a normal, functioning human being. They are a human muzzle and have been used for centuries by tyrants to silence, dehumanize, ridicule, and shame their victims. Just go and research it. The people, so we're talking the government here, and they're paid off puppets, that you must wear these, and they know that they are bad for your health. Their own scientific and medical advisors have made them aware of this multiple times, including to us, the public, yet people just blindly comply. Why? Because they're scared of getting a fine. That's going to be the least of their worries! Hang on a sec. It's a good job these collaborators didn't fight in the Second World War, otherwise the world could have been full-blown fascist! Some might argue that's exactly where we are headed now! If it is that easy to agree to suffocate under a mask, what is next? An injection, a digital ID under the skin, or the mask wearer is going to shame the people who refuse to have an unknown substance injected into their bloodstream? Do people really think it is a coincidence that whilst free speech is being completely suppressed and eroded across social media and the NHS, that a mask is introduced simultaneously when a virus strain has clearly run its course, if it ever had a first run, that is? Watch for the symbolism, is everywhere. The mask is very symbolic. It is a way to single out and identify those who are not complying with the government's narrative for to do their dirty work for them. The propaganda has been so intense and so effective that many people believe that those who choose not to restrict their breathing with a face cloth want to kill or infect them with a disease. That is how powerful systematic propaganda is. United, we win. Divided, we fail. During the Fourth Reich Nazi regime, the intention of the Star of David sewn onto the clothes of Jews was to further embed the Nazi ideology that Jewish people were somehow different from everybody else by marking them out from the rest of the population. The Nazi regime gradually made it, wait for it, mandatory for Jewish populations across Nazi-occupied Europe to wear these identifiers. Ring any bells? Next to the ghettos. This is all one big colossal distraction to stop us finding out about and trying to stop the sick crimes that are being committed against children. Approximately 8 million children go missing every single year and are being trafficked into international paedophile rings that are somehow miraculously connected to the people behind this pandemic. These people are everywhere, from royalty, business, teaching, the charity sector, the media and film industry, and politicians. Did you know that UK MPs voted last month to protect the names of MPs who commit these crimes? Did you know that? Why would they want to do that?
And the police department as well.
Absolutely, the police department. It's everywhere. And we are going to stop it! So, I ask you all today, all of you, including the police, I ask you to stand up, to research, to think for yourselves, to learn, to write, to listen, to use your own critical thinking, your intuition, and to learn from the past. As Bob Marley's song goes, you can fool some people sometimes, but you can't fool all the people all the time.